Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the October 8th, 2025 Public Board Meeting of the Halton District School Board. These meetings are open to the public so that all can see and hear our deliberations and how each trustee votes on the business before us in an open and transparent manner. We would like to extend a welcome to all of our guests, both in person and online, and a special welcome to all of our Inspire Award recipients who are sitting in the gallery this evening. We are very happy to have you join us this evening, and I would also like to make a special welcome to Superintendent Brent Coquell as he attends his very first meeting as a superintendent of our board. We will start with the roll call. Vice Chair Oliver.
Good evening, everyone.
Trustee Ahmed.
Good evening.
Trustee Baxter.
Good evening.
Trustee Daniele.
Thank you, I'm here.
Trustee Gray.
Yes, thank you.
Trustee Horn.
Good evening.
Trustee Zhang.
Good evening.
Student Trustee Ho.
Good evening.
Student Trustee Shu.
Good evening.
And Trustee Bryden will be a few minutes late due to GO train issues. Trustees Rocha and Wibbenhorst have both sent regrets for this evening's meeting. Director Ennis, please let us know which staff are in attendance this evening.
Thank you, Chair Collard, and good evening, everyone. We have a full complement of staff to support tonight's meeting.
Thank you. Tonight, Vice Chair Oliver will be honoring the land.
We begin by acknowledging the land and our responsibility to care for and respect all that provides us with life. This land upon which HDSB is situated is on the ancestral treaty and title lands of the Anishinaabe, Ojibwe, Michisagic Nation, now known as the Mississaugas of the Credit. Michisagic territory in the past and present continues to host both Indigenous and non-Indigenous peoples. The HDSB is committed to continuous knowledge building with respect to actions that address and resolve the ongoing impacts of colonialism. We do this by learning and understanding the true history, treaty obligations, duties and responsibilities, and Indigenous rights, while actively maintaining mutually beneficial relationships and collectively respecting and caring for the land.
Thank you, Vice Chair Oliver. Now we are up to item 1.3, approval of the agenda. And as you may have noted, there is a very full agenda this evening. And after that, we have private sessions, so it could be a lengthy evening. As per our usual procedure, trustees reviewed the 8 policies that are in the action items section of tonight's agenda at Committee of the Whole on September 16th. Committee of the Whole provides a less formal environment where trustees can engage in public discussions on items that may come to the board later for decision. Trustees had 3 weeks following the Committee of the Whole meeting to give any additional feedback on these policies. Staff have reviewed trustees' suggestions and have made changes to the policies that reflect the comments and suggestions offered as appropriate. For that reason, I would like to amend the agenda to move items 5.1.4 to 5.1.11 to the consent agenda prior to putting the motion to accept the agenda on the floor. If you would like to vote individually on any particular policy, we will not include that policy in the consent agenda. So please let me know by show of hand if there are any that should remain as is in the current agenda. Trustee Zhang?
I'd like to pull item 517, flag policy.
Thank you. That policy will come in its current position on the agenda. Is there any? Trustee Baxter?
Thank you. Could I pull 5.1.5 and 5.1.8, please?
Name those policies.
Oh, sorry. The first one is access to board premises.
Yep.
And point 8 is community-based facility enhancement.
Thank you very much. So those 3 policies will be pulled from the list of items going into the consent agenda. And Vice Chair Oliver.
Yes, I'd like to pull the minutes for the special board meeting of September 16, please.
Are you pulling that from this motion to put all of the items into the consent agenda?
No, sorry.
Okay, thank you. So we are pulling 3 of the 8 back into the main part of the agenda. Are there any objections to approving this amendment to the agenda? Seeing none, the amendment to the agenda is approved by unanimous consent. Vice Chair Oliver, would you make a motion to approve the agenda as amended?
I make that motion.
Trustee Baxter, would you second that motion?
Yes, please.
Are there any objections to approving the agenda as amended? Seeing none, the amended agenda is approved by unanimous consent. Are there any declarations of possible conflict of interest for this evening's agenda? Seeing none, we are now up to section 3.0, delegations, presentations to the board, and we move on to item 3.1, Inspire Awards. I will now pass the gavel to Trustees Gray and Horn, the co-chairs of the Inspire Awards, to preside over this evening's awards.
Thank you, Trustee Collard. Good evening, everyone. As you know, at the beginning of each month, the HDSB Board of Trustees takes a moment to honor those unsung heroes who give so much back to our community. Tonight, as you can see, we have a very full house. We have 11 awards to celebrate here for those who make a difference, as well as 5 which will be presented at the award winners' schools. I hear it all the time, people talking about the amazing people involved with the HDSB. And tonight we're able to honor some of those amazing people for the Inspire Awards, to celebrate those who make such a big difference, whether through kindness, leadership, or unwavering dedication. So we're going to start with the 11 people who are here, and then I will list the people who are receiving their awards at their school. And we're going to start with the awards presented by Trustee Daniele. And we're going to start with a student named Carmela Amori, who is from Bruce Trail Public School. Okay, Carmela, you consistently go above and beyond in your kindness and leadership within the school community. You regularly check in with your classmates and teachers, expressing gratitude and offering support to anyone in need. You genuinely and selflessly care for others. After an injury during a school trip, you were able to stay calm and focus on making sure everyone else was okay, comforting your worried friends and thanking the staff for their help. You have inspired others through your involvement in extracurriculars, such as a social justice club, where you help lead discussions, present lessons to younger students, and stand up for what you believe. Through your compassion, your courage, and thoughtfulness, Carmela, you leave a lasting positive impact on everyone around you. Congratulations. All right, next up, again from Bruce Trail Public School, we have Mr. Andrew Riley. I think it's Bruce Trail in the house tonight. Mr. Riley, you have made an extraordinary and lasting impact on your students through your dedication, your compassion, and innovative teaching methods. You consistently go out of your way to make sure each student feels included and supported, and you are known for your ability to connect with and inspire your students. Not only do you strengthen your students' academic skills through creative methods like creating a classroom economy, you also teach students the impact and importance of being kind and welcoming to their peers. Andrew, beyond academics, you have supported students' extracurricular pursuits through your enthusiastic participation in school events, such as the Talent Show Choir. Your constant optimism and growth mindset go above and beyond the expectations of a teacher. You prepare your students not only for high school, but for life. You leave an enduring positive influence on every student you teach. Congratulations, Andrew, on this well-deserved award. Thank you so much. Okay, and our third and final award from Bruce Trail Public School is for Joanne Plant. Mrs. Plant, you exceed all expectations in supporting the success and well-being of your students. Your deep dedication extends not only to your own students, but to all children in the school, ensuring their safety, offering encouragement, and providing comfort to families. During challenging situations, you immediately step in to offer support and guidance, and you have the ability to turn these experiences into value opportunities for growth and learning. Joanne, your calm, compassionate, and steady presence inspires both students and parents alike. Your support of students has been a source of hope and motivation for all families who can see the joy and progress in their journey, and they thank you for that. Through your commitment, you have created opportunities for growth in communication, patience, kindness, and confidence. Your impact on students' developments and success will be felt throughout their lives. Joanne, on behalf of William, all of his classmates, and everyone at Bruce Trail, congratulations on your award. William, thanks so much for helping with that award. Okay, next up from Escarpment View Public School, we have Michaela Caruso. And this one is a little special to me because Michaela in a previous life was one of my students as well. So Ms. Caruso, you have been seen as an extraordinary teacher who creates a welcoming, creative, and engaging classroom environment. You help students stay organized and engaged throughout thoughtful strategies, including pen pals, mindfulness activities, and motivating quotes, ensuring that every student feels seen and valued. Your innovative teaching methods and personal care have left a profound and memorable impression on the school community. Michaela, your encouragement transforms your students' academic performance and mindset, while your warmth, professionalism, and genuine care create a joyful learning environment. Your presence in the classroom sparks joy, respect, and enthusiasm for learning that sets students up for success far beyond the time in your classroom. I know from even before your official start in the classroom, you have been an inspiration to many. Congratulations, Michaela. Okay, next up from Bruce Trail Public School, we have Mike Ertsian. Or Ertsinian, sorry. Second time was right? Mike, through your volunteerism, you demonstrate exceptional dedication and care through your leadership of the Student Nutrition Program at Bruce Trail Public School, ensuring that students have consistent access to nutrition breaks that support their learning and well-being. Your steady commitment, positive outlook, and creative problem solving have kept the program strong, reflecting your deep care for the school community. Mike, your enthusiasm has encouraged others to get involved, transforming what began with your own individual effort into a team of volunteers who share the goal of supporting students. Your ongoing efforts have strengthened both student focus and the school's culture of kindness. Mike, through your example, you have made meaningful and lasting differences, showing how one person's dedication can inspire an entire community. Thank you so much, Mike. Congratulations. Thank you, Trustee Daniele, for your huge amount of Inspire Awards for this evening. Next up, we have Vice Chair Oliver, who's going to present her award, or her Inspire Award, to Heather Jaksic from Pilgrim Woods Public School. Heather, you stand out as an exceptionally devoted parent volunteer whose leadership and creativity have transformed the school community. As a key member of the Parent Council, you have organized many school events, including a dance-a-thon, 2 movie nights, and an unforgettable fun fair, all of which exceeded expectations in both participation and fundraising success. Your innovative approach, strong communication skills, and the ability to rally others to turn new ideas into thriving initiatives, raising nearly $30,000 for valuable school resources. Heather, your enthusiasm and your can-do attitude inspire fellow parents to get involved, building a sense of teamwork and excitement around every event that you lead. Your efforts have left a lasting legacy, setting a new standard for future school events and ensuring that students benefit from your hard work for years to come. Heather, congratulations. Thank you, Vice Chair Oliver. Next up, we have Trustee Bryden, who's going to present the Inspire World Award for Central Primary School or Public School to Heather Smith. Heather, you exemplify compassion and positivity in your role as an educational assistant. Each morning, you welcome students and family by name, setting a warm and encouraging tone that carries through the day. You intuitively recognize when someone needs extra care and take the time to offer reassurance and connection, making a lasting difference in the lives of many students and their families. Heather, your commitment extends beyond expectations as you collaborate with teachers, adjust student plans, and prepare thoughtfully to help every child succeed. Your joyful presence, creative problem solving, and willingness to lead inspire both students and colleagues to approach each day with kindness and optimism. Through your work on community building initiatives like the Kindness Concert and your daily acts of empathy, you continue to shape a welcoming environment of compassion and belonging. Congratulations, Heather. Thanks, Trustee Bryden. Now we have Chair Collard to present awards for her schools and, I don't know, local area here. So first off, we have an award for a very special person who I've worked with, Karen O'Brien. Quickly before we start, Karen, I have to say, I'm over here. I've only ever seen you online, so I've never actually seen you in person. I know. So, Karen, you have dedicated 4 decades to the Halton District School Board, reflecting an extraordinary career marked by compassion and an unwavering support of every student. Through your many roles, you have consistently placed students' well-being and success at the center of your work. Karen, your deep commitment to support each learner's unique journey has transformed the lives of so many students and families. Your wonderful ability to meet each student where they are and guide them with patience and encouragement is truly inspiring. For colleagues, you have been a trusted mentor and a creative problem solver, inspiring innovative ways to reach students. Your impact carries on through many individuals that you have uplifted, the compassion that you have cultivated, and the lasting hope that you have instilled across the school community. Karen, on behalf of the trustees and everybody within the Halton District School Board, we thank you and congratulations. Okay, next from Orchard Park Public School, we have Kelly Youngblood. Kelly, you stand out as an exceptional teacher whose caring approach and creativity has helped your students thrive. Through your gentle encouragement and understanding, you have created a welcoming space where every child feels accepted, supported, and excited to come to school, including every student who sometimes may feel nervous about starting their kindergarten journey, but now are able to thrive in your classroom. Your ability to connect with each student and grow their confidence helps them develop both academically and personally. Kelly, you model empathy and kindness in every interaction, inspiring your students to treat others with the same care and respect. Your enthusiasm for outdoor learning and hands-on exploration spark curiosity and a love of nature that extend beyond the classroom. Whether it's leading school trips, organizing learning activities, or supporting your colleagues, Kelly, you have consistently given your best to ensure that your students thrive. The positive impact that you have made on your students and their families will be remembered for years to come as you continue to shape young learners with your warmth, your dedication, and your joy for teaching. Kelly, congratulations. I'm now going to pass the mic over to Trustee Gray because it's my turn to present an award to Olivia Franco from Tecumseh Public School.
Thank you, Trustee Horn, and congratulations, Olivia. Olivia, as a dedicated volunteer, you exemplify kindness and your leadership through your work with the Tecumseh Breakfast Program. Always arriving early, you help prepare nutritious meals, you greet students warmly, and you ensure everyone begins the day feeling cared for and supported. With more than 100 volunteer shifts, you have become a role model whose positivity and reliability inspire your peers, staff, and the wider school community. Olivia, your cheerful spirit and genuine compassion create an atmosphere of belonging that extends far beyond the breakfast table. Through your consistent service, you have strengthened a sense of community and kindness within the school, leaving a lasting impact that encourages others to give their time and energy to help those around them. Olivia, everyone in the room congratulates you on receiving this award tonight. Well done.
Okay, next up, we have Trustee Baxter, who will be presenting on behalf of Trustee Wubenhorst for Tierney DeMaria, who is from Dr. David R. Williams Public School. Madame DeMaria, you are an exceptionally caring teacher who creates a welcoming environment where students feel valued, heard, and encouraged. You consistently go beyond academics, offering guidance and understanding when students are seeking support. You bring energy and encouragement to all student activities, supporting them both in academics as well as extracurriculars. In the classroom, you offer individualized guidance that helps students develop their skills and gain confidence. While outside of the classroom, you motivate and uplift students during sports, events, and other school activities. Your thoughtfulness and attentiveness inspire students to be kind, resilient, and motivated, while your energy, humor, and encouragement make every student feel seen and supported. Through your uplifting presence, Madame DeMaria, you leave a lasting positive impact, helping students grow and create a genuine sense of belonging that endures long after they leave your classroom. Congratulations, Tierney.
Nicely done, Margot. Yeah.
So, we have been able to celebrate 11 of these wonderful people to celebrate the amazing contributions they make. We also have 5 other winners of this award where trustees will go to visit their local schools. And these include Ashley Billy from New Central Public School, Sean Britt from Odenawi Public School, Michelle Derry Silvera from Orchard Park Public School, and Derek Tellier from W.H. Morton Public School. Please continue to help us shine a light on those who inspire. Look on our HDSB website to find the nomination form to nominate someone today and celebrate those everyday heroes who make our schools and communities stronger. Thank you so much for being with us tonight.
Thank you very much for presenting those awards. I have to say, I've never seen such a great variety. We had students, we had staff, we had school staff, and we had board office staff, and we had community members. That was a very well-rounded group of presentations. Thank you to everyone who makes those nominations. We are now up to the student trustee report, and I will ask student trustees Ho and Shu to please go ahead.
Good evening, HDSB superintendents, trustees, staff, and viewers. My name is Trustee Ho. Good evening, and I am Trustee Xu.
We hope everyone has had a great week and first month of school. As your student trustees, today we are very excited to be bringing you the second student trustee report for the 2025 to 2026 school year. So a major highlight of being a student trustee, especially during my past term, was leading around 200 ambitious and kind student advocates in what is formally known as the HDSB Student Senate. Throughout the summer and all throughout the 2024 to 2025 school year, myself, Trustee Xu, past student trustees, and our amazing student Senate mentors have been keeping an eye out for ways to improve organization structure and efficiency within the Senate. We are super excited to keep the board updated regarding the amazing work I know our next student senators will do this school year.
In regards to the past month, Trustee Ho and I, as well as the Senate co-chairs, Charlie and Giovanna, have finalized the Student Senate recruitment package, which was created with the aims of providing pre-made Senate recruitment resources to help administrators be better able to promote Senate to more students and engage in a fair senator selection process. This package was sent out to schools' principals across the HCSB during the third weeks of September to begin the Senate selection and recruitment process, which has now ended. The meeting dates for the Student Senate have also been finalized and will take place during either the first or second Wednesday of each month going forward.
Trustee Xu and I would like to take a moment to thank all of the senior staff who have previously volunteered their time to engage in and present at our past Senate meetings. If anyone has any specific topics they would like to get student feedback on or are interested in returning to speak, please let us know, and also please keep an eye out for further invitations to share your knowledge with the 2025-2026 Student Senate in upcoming meetings.
Next, as part of OSTA ACO's leadership team, I attended the monthly leadership meeting where we discussed details for the upcoming fall general meeting in November. At the meeting, the team also reviewed an open letter about Bill 33 drafted by the Ontario Undergraduate Student Alliance and Partners, which the team read in full and agreed for OSTA ACO to sign on as a supporting partner.
To end off our student trustee report, from this report moving forward, we would like to include a brief segment of our reports where we discuss a student-related issue or topic that we feel we have valuable student voice to share. The purpose of this is not only to increase our platforming of student voice and ideas at the board level, but also hopefully spread more awareness regarding which issues and projects students are most passionate about at the ground level at our schools. In honor of World Mental Health Day being this coming Friday, the topic for the month of October will be student mental health. As you know, I am such a big advocate for the destigmatization of mental health conversations, even since I entered this role, and I will always stand by its importance since I believe having positive mental health support systems and an environment that nurtures well-being in every single way is certainly a prerequisite to student success. Within our Senate meeting discussions and throughout working on the Mental Health Day initiative, we've talked to so many students regarding their thoughts on how the board can better support student mental health. And many times their response has been spreading more awareness about the awesome resources the HSB already has to offer. So on the subject of mental health and resources, on October 1st, I was given the wonderful opportunity to present the Mental Health Day initiative at the HSPA executive meeting, where I received much support from Superintendent Barnes and the HSB Mental Health Lead Wallace, as well as plenty of nuanced feedback from principals representing schools such as Abbey Park and White Oaks. I will be continuing to work with the HSB mental health team to further develop logistics on this initiative for implementation in the near future, and I'm extremely thankful for the chance to be a part of bringing more awareness on mental health to students across the board.
The past month has been primarily focused on setting up organized system to ensure a successful beginning of the year for our Student Senate. Trustee Ho and I remain extremely thankful for our wonderful Student Senate and trustee mentors, as well as our incredible Senate co-chairs, Charlie and Giovanna.
We hope you enjoyed also our short conversation regarding mental health as well, and this concludes our student trustee report for the October board meeting. Thank you.
I pushed the wrong button. That's what that button does. Student trustees Ho and Shu, thank you so much for yet again an amazingly informative report and a heartfelt message about the importance of mental health. Are there any questions for our student trustees this evening? Trustee Horn?
Hi, yes, thank you. I'm just wondering, thank you to both student trustees for your report. You said every month you're going to speak to something that is important. How are you going to determine what that topic is? Is it going to come from Senate or is it going to come from local schools? How are you going to choose that topic?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think a way that we could help reach students even outside of Student Senate, because I know a lot of amazing and important conversations and discussions already occurred there, but obviously there are so many students with so many great ideas. We are hoping to maybe put out like a forum on our student trustee social media to ask them, hey, do you have any ideas that you would like to share at the board meetings? As well, I think Student Senate, though, is definitely a really great place to get those ideas too. So if we have, like, for example, we talk about transportation for like 30 minutes at a Senate meeting and we have a lot of amazing insights, we would definitely like to bring those topics at the board meetings as well. Thank you.
Thank you. And seeing no other speakers, we will thank you very much again for your report. And we will now move on to Section 4, our consent agenda. This evening for approval, we have the minutes of our board meetings on September 9, 2025 and September 16, 2025. We have the copyright fair dealing policy, the prohibition regarding use of alcohol and recreational cannabis policy, the environmental leadership and sustainability policy, the cybersecurity and data management policy, and the privacy and information management policy. For receipt, we have the approved minutes of Committee of the Whole June 11, the outstanding action items, the board report schedule, the policy and governance procedure review schedule, and correspondence to the board from Limestone and Simcoe District School Boards. Be it resolved that the board approve the consent agenda and receive information items for October 8, 2025. Trustee Ahmed, would you make a motion to approve the consent agenda?
Yes, I please.
Trustee Gray, would you second this motion?
Yes, I will.
Are there any items that need to be pulled for discussion? Vice Chair Oliver.
Chair, I'd like to pull item 4.1.2, the special board minutes from September 16.
Okay, and I'm just looking for other speakers. Remember to ring in on the highest level of the item. Trustee Baxter, are you trying? Okay, go ahead.
Thank you, Chair Collard. I'd like to pull the minutes from the September 9th board meeting, please.
That's fine. So we'll start with the minutes from the 16th. Okay.
Thanks, through you, Chair. So in those minutes for the special board meeting of September 16, under item 3.1.1, the minutes should reflect that Student Trustee Shu expressed support for the motion and delivered Student Trustee Ho's remarks in her absence. Thank you.
Thank you. And Trustee Baxter.
Thank you, through the chair. It's not a question or correction of the minutes themselves, but after the meeting, I was contacted by a constituent who tried to watch the meeting, and they said that there were some technical difficulties with the live stream. And when I went to look recently, the recording is not posted. So first, I have a question: will the recording of that meeting be available and posted? And if not, I have a follow-up question, please.
I watched the recording last week. It was there.
Oh, I apologize then. I wasn't able to find it on the website. Okay, good. Thank you.
Okay, and seeing no other speakers, Trustee Ahmed, would you make a motion to approve the consent agenda. I think, did I
Yes,
just
I-
do that already?
Yeah.
I'm getting behind myself. Okay, sorry about that. Okay, yes, we would like to open the voting on this motion. Thank you. We had some technical difficulties. Just wanted you all to know that that vote passed unanimously. And now we are moving on to our action items, starting with 5.1.1, Standing Committees Merge, submitted by Standing Committees Merge Ad Hoc Committee. And I will read the motion. That the Board of Trustees adopt the terms of reference for the Board Assessment and Development Standing Committee, that the appointments to the committees and other roles governance procedure be amended to reflect the content proposed in Report 25114, and that all prior versions of the appointments to committees and other roles governance procedure be revoked. Vice Chair Oliver, would you move this motion?
I move this motion.
Trustee Ahmed, would you second this motion?
Yes, please.
Vice Chair Oliver, would you like to speak to the report?
Thank you. Before you is a proposal for merging both of the committees. It was determined that the scope of both was very similar in that the Board Self-Assessment Standing Committee looked at assessing the effectiveness of the board in its various functions and roles, and often provided recommendations for professional development for board members. And so because of this connection, we felt that it was prudent to merge the two so that both aspects could be considered simultaneously. Thank you.
Thank you. And I'm looking for any speakers to this. If there are, I have it open if you want to bring in. Okay. Seeing no speakers, no debate, please cast your votes. Oh, and I do want to say that there's something in the document that needs to be amended where it refers to the Government Document Review Standing Committee. That name has been changed twice now, and it is back to Policy, Bylaw, and Governance, so that should also be amended. And for the student trustees, if you're in favor, thank you. That passes unanimously. Thank you very much. Moving on to item 5.1.2, attendance management, submitted by myself. I'll read the motion and then I will pass the gavel. That the Board of Trustees include in Board and Committee of the Whole regular meeting agendas a motion to authorize trustee absences as outlined in Report 25115 and amend the board governance bylaw and appointments to committees and other roles governance procedure to reflect this change to the agendas. Trustee Gray, would you move this motion?
Yes, I would.
Trustee Daniele, would you second this motion?
Yes, I will.
Trustee Gray or Daniele, would you like to speak to this report as it stems from OPSPA?
I think the report reads as is.
Are there any questions on the topic?
Thank you. Through the chair to the chair. This topic has got quite a bit of attention from boards all over Ontario, and there's been several articles written about the conversations that they've had. And there was one recently, I believe it was from a board near Barrie, or the one that encompasses Barrie, and they were talking about different circumstances and where this motion would happen in a board meeting. I was just wondering where you were thinking it would go in the agenda. And I can just mention two specific things that they talked about. So one was that a trustee is unable to make it to the meeting and unable to inform anyone due to car accident or something, God forbid. And trustees would then be approving that absence at the next meeting. The other circumstance they were talking about is something happens on the way to a meeting and a trustee informs, and so the board can pass a motion during the meeting or at the end of the meeting perhaps. And so I'm just wondering what you were thinking in terms of when this would happen during the meeting.
Placement on the agenda would be after the roll call, but it could be a motion that is brought at any time during a meeting if an absence is noted after. And of course, if it's the next month, then it would be retroactive. Absolutely, yeah. We would never penalize a trustee for not making it to a meeting due to something that was not within their control.
Thank you, and appreciation to OPSPA for the creative solution to the problem. Thank you.
Are there any questions or comments on this report and motion? Trustee Bryden.
This motion speaks to amending our regular agenda in regards to tonight's meeting and the absences that we would like to excuse for this evening. Would we like to make that motion next month, or is that to be added in this meeting?
It's in my intent to do it this evening. Absolutely.
Any other questions or comments? Seeing none, we will proceed to vote. And that carries unanimously, and I pass the gavel.
Thank you very much. Now, as a subset of that motion, I would like to bring forward a motion to authorize this evening's absences. As per our board governance bylaw, it states where prior notice is not possible to deal with an urgent matter that cannot be dealt with at the next regular meeting or a non-material matter, a trustee may make a motion to suspend the notice requirement, which if passed by a 2/3 majority of trustees present or quorum, whichever is greater, will allow the motion to proceed for a decision. So given that that is how our bylaw reads, we should pass a motion to suspend the notice requirement. So this was, the absences were unforeseen, and we would like to get this dealt with swiftly rather than waiting until next month. So I would like to bring forward the motion that the board suspend the notice requirement listed in the board governance bylaw to bring a motion to authorize 2 absences from tonight's meeting. Are there any objections to approving the amendment? No, not the amendment. Where did I get that from? Oh, yeah. Are there any objections to approving the suspension of the notice requirement? Seeing none, the notice requirement is suspended, approved by unanimous consent. Now we will make the motion to authorize the absences, that the board authorize the absences of trustees T. Rocha and A. Wibbenhorst from the October 8, 2025 board meeting. And I would like a mover and a seconder for that. Moved by trustee Horn, seconded by trustee Daniele. Is there any discussion? And that would be by show of hand because it's not in the agenda package. Seeing no hands in the air, can we have the vote, please? And the student trustees? Thank you very much. That vote passes unanimously. Thank you. The next item on our agenda is the 2024-2025 Audit Committee Annual Report to Board and Ministry submitted by Trustee Daniele. Trustee Daniele, would you move this motion?
Thank you. Yes, I will.
And Trustee Bryden, would you second?
Yes, please.
Would you like Superintendent Ngoy to speak on this report, or would you like to speak on the report?
I was merely going to say that the report is before you as written. I'd like to express my sincere thanks to the 2024-2025 Audit Committee for all the hard work that they have done. And if there are any questions, I would suggest that we direct them to Superintendent Ngoy.
Perfect. Thank you. Is there any debate? I am seeing no questions. So we've exhausted our speakers list and can move to the vote. Hey, welcome back, everyone. We had another bit of a technical issue with the network, but we are back, and that last motion passed unanimously. We are now proceeding to item 5.1.4, access to board premises policy, presented by Superintendent Fowler, report 25105. And I believe we had questions on that policy. If you wanted to bring in on the e-scribe, that would be lovely. Carol, have you been able to access it? Okay, well, we will go without. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, sorry. With all of the interruptions, I lost my notes. I just have a question. Sorry, through the chair. Apologies. I have a question about the statement under the guiding principles, which is that the board endorses access to school and board premises consistent with the commitments of the multi-year strategic plan. I'm just wondering what the meaning of that is in plain language, and if it's necessary in this policy. Thank you. I think that was, I don't know, is Superintendent Fowler with us?
Thank you so much, Trustee Baxter. Certainly the language is spelled out by the HDSB multi-year strategic plan would be all of the commitments that we have. We just didn't spell them out in this guiding principle, but we believe that the commitments that we have, all 6 of them, are pertinent to those who are entering our buildings and our spaces, to be a guideline and to serve as guardrails for how we interact with each other, conduct ourselves with each other. So that's why we have it there.
Absolutely, I agree, and I do believe that that's mentioned in other policies around the expected conduct of staff, trustees, students, community members, those who are doing work in our board premises. But given that this policy is talking about access to schools, which is a legal right that the board has and delegates to principals in the case of schools, I'm just wondering if this is the right place to have it, just because it's a little bit ambiguous about the meaning. I'm wondering if a guiding principle would be more appropriate in this policy, something along the lines of the school board endorsing access consistent with achieving the purpose of the board, which is education. I'm just looking for clarity and just in terms of plain language and not being too ambiguous with our policies.
So we're certainly opening to adding for the primary purpose of education and for the purposes of the consistent with the commitments in the multi-year strategic plan. We can certainly add education to it, but we believe that it's not just schools, it's all HDSB premises that this covers.
Are there any other questions?
So I'm just wondering, because we did, as you pointed out, have discussion and the opportunity to look at all of these policies at the committee of the whole, but this phrase was not included in the last time, and I'm just wondering if there's an option, given that we do have the policy, could we
Thanks for your patience, everyone. We are back, and hopefully that will be the last time we go down this evening. That motion to defer is now on the floor, and Trustee Baxter, would you like to speak to that?
Thank you. Through you, the chair. As I mentioned, I think it's important that the language of our policies be clear and unambiguous and in plain language. Given that the policy exists currently and that the APs that were created from the policy are fully in force, I don't think it delays or impedes staff's work practically if we take one more month just to review the language of the policy, so that we've done that in the interest of clarity for users of those policies. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Are there any other speakers to this motion to defer? Okay, then we will bring up the vote. And voting yes means we defer. Voting no means that we vote on the motion this evening. And for our student trustees, if you're in favor of deferring, please raise your hand. Thank you. Okay, so that passes. It was not unanimous. In favor of deferral were trustees Ahmed, Baxter, Bryden, Daniele, Gray, Horn, and Zhang, and opposed were myself and Vice Chair Oliver. And the student trustees also voted in favor. So that will be deferred until the November meeting. We will now move on to the flags policy 5.1.5, and just let me get that on the floor. The motion reads that the Board of Trustees adopt the updated flag policy and that all prior versions be revoked. Trustee Gray, would you move this motion, please?
Yes, I would.
And Trustee Ahmed, would you second this motion, please?
Yes, I will, please.
Thank you. And Manager Francie, would you like to speak to your motion?
Thank you. Through the chair. This policy guides how flags are flown, lowered, and displayed at schools and other HDSB buildings. And as trustees know, this policy has undergone a scheduled review with no significant changes from the version last approved by trustees. Updates do include aligning the language with the administrative procedure, which was last updated in January, and putting the policy on the updated template. This policy was presented at Committee of the Whole on September 16th and is being brought forward this evening for approval.
Thank you. Do we have any speakers to this motion? Trustee Zhang.
Thank you, Chair Collett. In the last Committee of the Whole meeting, I shared a lot of the opinions about this flag policy. And today, I only want to focus on the second paragraph of the policy statement. The second paragraph authorized the Director of Education to make decisions on flying community awareness flags in the HDSB buildings. In the past 3 years, I heard a lot of feedback from the community. They shared a different opinion of the flags. And so I think this is a lot of community members looking at this how we fly the flags. So I believe at this time we need to listen more about from our community, and I will move a motion to defer. Thank you.
Okay, is there a seconder to the motion to defer on the flags policy? I'm not seeing a seconder to the motion to defer, Trustee Zhang. So we will proceed with voting on the main motion. Are there any speakers, any other speakers to the main motion? Seeing none, we will open the voting. Go ahead, Trustee Horn.
Thank you, through you, Chair. So just to follow up on Trustee Zhang's concern, so I just want to follow up. So what the concern or the paragraph he's referring to is that the Director of Education can request to fly the flag in support of community awareness initiatives that align with the HDSB's values, supports, and principles and expectations of the HDSB Safe Schools Policy, Human Rights Equity Action, and Accountability Plan, and are consistent with the Ontario Human Rights Code. So my question is for the Director, and I'm just wondering, when you were looking at putting in this request, how do you ensure that you are doing so in line with these values and also supporting the community that it's flown within?
Thank you for the question, Trustee Horn. Certainly, the three flags that I can think of that I have authorized raising are the Pride flag, the Survivors flag for Indigenous Month, and certainly the HLF flag. So those are the three flags that I've approved over the last few years, and no others. And those certainly are in alignment and in keeping with our values and community awareness.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. And seeing no other speakers, I'd like to open the voting. Thank you. That motion passes, but not unanimously. In favor are myself, Trustee Ahmed, Trustee Baxter, Trustee Bryden, Trustee Daniele, Trustee Gray, Trustee Horn, Trustee Oliver, and opposed is Trustee Zhang. Thank you very much. The next item is Community-Based Facility Enhancements Policy, presented by Superintendent Gaudette. Report 25112.
Thank you. Through the chair, this policy was up for comprehensive review and updated to the new format, as well as reflecting our new secondary program accommodation committee, as well as the elementary program accommodation committee, and just aligning our work that we do in facility services with finance and adding Superintendent Degoy to the ownership. Happy to take any questions.
Thank you. So first, let's get the motion on the floor. Be it resolved that the Board of Trustees adopt the revised Community-Based Facility Enhancements Policy and that the prior version be revoked. Moved by Trustee Bryden, seconded by Trustee Horn. Okay, now we're open for debate, and I do see Trustee Baxter.
Thank you to the chair. So again, recognizing this is a pre-existing policy and there were some changes made to it, but I'm taking the opportunity to ask questions about some pre-existing language, which is number 3, where it states that enhancement projects must consider, and there's a list of factors that must be considered when reviewing an enhancement project. I'm wondering if, and this is no way asking to defer approving the policy, but just a request to Superintendent Goodet and staff to consider adding some more information at the end of the policy in terms of references to other policies or documents or APs that would include information on what the various things in the list are defined as a board. For instance, ethics. If we have, because the idea of this policy is that it's directed to external community members, external to the board who may not have a good understanding, to make the policy more usable, I think it would be helpful if there were more references at the end that help to explain certain things like ethics. Is that referring to our ethics policy, inclusive design? Where would someone find some information on how does the HDSB define inclusive design or culturally responsive and relevant pedagogy, just to assist anyone who's looking at suggesting such a project. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Are there any other comments regarding this policy? Seeing none, I'll open the voting. And the student trustees, if you're in favor, please. Thank you. Do we have all the votes? Okay. Okay. Thank you. That carries unanimously. We will now move to our final action item for this evening in public session, and that is trustee honoraria, November 15, 2025. Superintendent Ngoy, report 25100. First, I will get the motion on the floor that the Board of Trustees approve trustee honoraria effective November 15, 2025, as noted in Appendix A of the trustee honoraria policy. Trustee Zhang, would you move this motion?
Yes, please.
Trustee Baxter, would you second this motion?
Yes, please.
Thank you. And Superintendent Ngoy, would you like to speak to this report?
Thank you. And through the chair, this is the annual update or the calculation in accordance with the Education Act for the trustee honoraria amount. It is slightly reduced year over year as a result of enrollment decline. So the cumulative change is about $1,000 and just under $1,400. The revised Appendix A will be reflected in the policy on the website as well. Happy to take any questions.
Thank you. And I'm just opening the questions. Do we have any speakers? Seeing none, I'll open the voting. Trustees, in favor? Thank you. That is unanimous. Thank you very much. So that is the end of our action items for public session this evening. We now move into our items for information, and we go to Superintendent Ngoy to bring us 6.1.1, 2026-2027 budget development and timelines.
Thank you. For the chair, to all trustees, this marks the official start of the budget development process for 2026-2027. So for next school year, as trustees are well aware, the HDSB is in a declining enrollment period over the last 2 years as well as over the next 2 years, with over 3,000 students in this period that is expected to be lost. As our funding is directly impacted by enrollment being the main driver, we are going to be looking at the loss of funding. It's going to be a very challenging budget development process, so we are starting early and with the full support of the Board of Trustees. We have a very comprehensive working groups and feedback process which has started already in October and is going all the way to the end of January. Some of the key dates are posted here and will be updated on the public website as well. We currently have in this year a budget deficit that was submitted for 7.1 million. We are still waiting from the ministry to hear back in terms of the approval for the deficit for the current year. So as we look at 2026, 2027, with a declining enrollment, as well as with some of the areas of funding that has not kept up with the current costs in terms of benefits, and sick leave, supply coverage, federally mandated statutory benefits and claims. We are looking at not only eliminating the 7.1 million deficit, but also making up for that additional loss of funding from enrollment decline. So we will be looking at over 10 million in identified reductions, efficiencies, as well as any opportunities for generating additional revenue that can help us balance the budget. I'd be happy to take any questions.
Thank you. And I see a growing speakers list. Trustee Horn.
Thank you. Through you, Chair, to Superintendent Ngoy. So when we approved the budget, we were looking at a compliant deficit budget. You're speaking of increased pressures on our board, increased pressures in terms of financial risk. Will we still be looking at a compliant deficit budget?
Through the chair, so the current year we have a deficit budget that's within the compliance allocation for 1% of the provincial funding, but it hasn't yet been approved by the ministry. So it's not fully compliant just because of that new regulation that was introduced in 2018-19, where a school board has 2 years of consecutive deficits. It requires not only board approval to be within that compliance allocation, but also ministry approval. So from that perspective, the current year budget is non-compliant until it's approved by the ministry. And next year, we have committed in the in-year deficit elimination plan that was submitted with the current year budget to eliminate the deficit. So we are committing to balancing 2026, 2027. And that's the reason why I was mentioning we're starting early to identify reductions to not only eliminate the current year, but any pressures that come with reduced enrollment in the next year as well.
So if I can follow up, so then we submitted our budget back prior to the summer. How long is it that the minister gives themselves to tell us that they approve it?
Thank you for the question through the chair. There isn't a timeline, so the file is with the ministry at the moment, and we don't have an answer yet. I know there's other school boards in the province who haven't yet received an answer, so I couldn't tell you. Receiving it in the fall has been past practice as well, so we're still waiting to hear back.
Okay, thank you.
Trustee Bryden.
Thank you, Chair. I know we've said much around this table already about the level of education funding generally in the province. I'm curious, one of the points the minister raised this summer in appointing supervisors to some boards was a question forward and said, if there's something wrong with my funding formula, tell me and let's change it. So I'm curious about the impact of declining or increasing enrollment. With my economist hat on, what you want is the marginal cost to be equivalent to the marginal revenue, so that if you lose a student, you lose the funding that student would need to balance roughly equally. If you gain a student, you gain the funding that they would need. From my understandings of what's been presented here previously, it doesn't quite balance that way. Boards that are growing are in a stronger position than boards that are shrinking. is there something that we could communicate back to the ministry about how the funding formula is set up and a way that it could be perhaps rebalanced to address that challenge?
Thank you for the chair. That is correct with the declining enrollment. So the loss of funding is the entire wraparound funding for a student. That doesn't necessarily follow the students that are not entering our system. So, for example, the support for students that require additional needs to achieve or additional support for mental health and well-being is going up. The needs for special education have been increasing. They're not directly correlated to increase or decline in enrollment. They're not proportional. So those pressures remain, but the funding is reduced in all the allocations throughout the core education funding formula. Another example is, for example, we are opening new schools, but we are losing funding from the school operations and maintenance because of declining enrollment. We still have the same space and same grounds to keep and maintain, even more so as we're opening new schools. So that's how it negatively impacts declining enrollment boards when we do lose enrollment, and that being the main factor. So in terms of the message certainly would be to have a look at some of the allocations that are going down with enrollment where the costs are not proportionate or they're not directly impacted. That would be helpful as well.
Just to follow up, is there, so if we could take a look, not just for our own purposes, but to try and assist province-wide in making the system work better, is there a way that we could summarize where some of those pressures are and potentially communicate that to the ministry?
And for the chair, yes, and we have done in the past, so we certainly have that. We are going to have a more of a discussion with the trustees at the November 18th Committee of the Whole, and we'll spend a little bit of time on some of those cost pressures and what that means in terms of reducing supports in the system.
Thank you. And seeing no further questions, I just want to thank you and your team so much for all the hard work that you do. I know it is very difficult, especially when we're seeing a deficit compliant budget for a couple of years now. And I wish you the best in finding ways of cutting that ensure our students are still getting the quality of education that this board is famous for. So thank you very much for all your hard work. Moving on to item 6.1.2, Environmental Sustainability Leadership and Sustainability Impact Report, submitted by Superintendents Flahat and Gadet, Report 25104, and we have a special guest here this evening as well, Rachel Irwin. Would you like to come forward?
Good evening, trustees. Through the chair to all trustees, what we have today, this evening, before you is our third annual sustainability report. And you will notice that there's a huge shift. I wanted to start off by, first of all, thanking Superintendent Gadet for inspiring us a few years ago with the very first sustainability report that was brought to our system. And I wanted to thank the Board of Trustees for leading the way, for inspiring the multi-year strategic plan with a commitment to environmental and global citizenship. We've been told by our partners that work across Canada that the Halton District School Board is one of the very few boards that they know of that has made that commitment to put environmental and global citizenship as part of the multi-year strategic plan as a way to create that vision for our schools across the system. Wanted to introduce someone here with me today. Rachel Irwin is the Manager of Environmental Leadership and Sustainability. Rachel has been an unbelievable leader, helping us move this work across our schools. It's very inspirational to see the work that's happening. So what we have in that report in front of you, it's an impact report. It really is about a celebration of impact across our system. You will see evidence-based data. You'll see quantitative and qualitative data, something that's often been asked of us in the past reports. And you'll see a significant shift from the idea of just sustainability and looking at buildings to learning and leadership. And you'll see a direct alignment to the multi-year strategic plan objectives. We're so proud to share that every one of those objectives that were put before us in the multi-year strategic plan has been met. In our first year, the impact that's happened throughout our schools. As an example, last year, 82 of our schools decided to join and move forward and to become an eco school. And so this year, we haven't even made the ask. And as of today, 73 schools have already signed up. And we haven't even messaged them to request their support in moving the work forward. So it's quite inspiring to share this information with you. The report is before you, and we're happy to answer any questions.
Your report was excellent. It's obvious to me that it was excellent because until now there was no one on the speakers list. Trustee Bryden, go ahead.
Thank you. It is an excellent report. I was intrigued by the section on Vision Georgetown and the plans for the school there, and some of the work that was done to look at the ability to dramatically lower carbon footprints in that site. And I'm curious, I mean, obviously, if the community system goes forward up there, that's a great resource for us to tap into. But what's presented here are options that would not require the community system as well. And I'm wondering both on that site and more broadly on future sites, whether those are viable options for us to proceed with, even aside from the availability of the community system.
We're going to ask Superintendent Cadet to connect on that one.
Through the chair, thanks for the question. Yes, we've got a number of schools in Vision Georgetown, and I'll say a strong vision from that community around even the potential to not provide gas into portions of the community. And as such, we've engaged with some design consultants to look at how we would modify our design to accommodate or anticipate that eventuality. And so, we do use heat pumps throughout a lot of our schools, and the good thing about the heat pump system is we can convert that from gas to electric. So we have talked about that internally, trying that at a small school to see, what the impact of that could be, because we do know that while electric supply is cleaner and greener and does not have as much carbon as natural gas, it also costs substantially more. And so we need to be in a position to balance our budget and operate a school effectively while still trying to lower our carbon footprint. And so, yes, some of the opportunities are certainly with working with our partners in that community, if that's a feasible and an actionable outcome from the partners. And if not, what would it look like for us to go out on our own? We do have some experience with geothermal, and I'll say but the systems that we had were short-lived, so whether they weren't installed or designed correctly, that is part of the assessment that we would need to make if we were looking at a geothermal system. But certainly we've proven we can do photovoltaic systems on our roofs, and that can help supplement and offer cost savings and achieve those greenhouse reductions that we're striving for.
Do you have a follow-up?
Yeah, it strikes me. I'm curious if if we could put together, if there is an increased cost, if we could put together a business case for community support to look at making that cost differential, and I'm sure there are groups out there that would be happy to put money behind initiatives that would lower carbon footprints in our schools.
Through the chair, we are engaged in active discussions with the town, and we are exploring opportunities both with partners as well as partners' ability to apply for funding that perhaps the school board does not have. So it's nice because we've got some runway with this. The development is beginning, but we've got a number of schools and potentially some years to develop those relationships and have those discussions to see where, exactly as you allude to, there might be an opportunity and willing partners out there to help support this.
Thank you. Moving on to Trustee Horn.
Thank you. Through you, Chair, to Superintendent Flahat, Rachel, and Superintendent Cadet. So I'm pretty sure the reason you brought this today, along with the water bottles that we've gotten, is the relation to the SDGs. And I'm just wondering, so when I was looking at the parent slideshow, the family of schools slideshow, I think, was that yours, Ian? I'm going to find it in the report, where it has links to the different SDGs or SDGs that are on this bottle. And I noticed that there is an absence of SDG number 4, which is quality education. And I'm just wondering if you can, again, I'm all about not looking in silos, but each theme of your topics is teaching and learning, which comes back to quality education across Canada, across the world. So I'm just wondering if you could think of how you could also include, I would think, one of the most valuable goals in relation to our school board, which is SDG number 4, in line with the materials that you have here. Thank you.
Through the chair. So in accordance to Appendix B, the April Family of Schools Conference workshop descriptions, which you're referring to, the quality education was actually at the very top of that document that got sent to staff when they signed up, but I happened to miss copying it over into the report. So it was the over umbrella of the report when it did go out. So thank you for catching that, and I can definitely add it back in.
Thank you, because when I look at, so when I go into the SDGs and I look at the different sort of subsections of number 4, some of them do relate back to school environment, global citizenship, and sustainable development. So really looking at how we are ensuring that when we're looking at these goals, we are doing that cross connection across all of them rather than focusing on the ones that maybe are siloed under environment. So thank you, Rachel.
Trustee Baxter.
Thank you. Through the chair, I just echo the other comments. The report was fantastic, very readable, and I'm hoping that members of the public will read it as well to better understand what's happening on our board, which is a lot. I appreciate the opportunities for students to understand how they can make a local impact. I think that's really important, as well as exploring future careers. So I'm sort of seeing your work is touching in many different areas of the board. And I'm wondering, for the future workshops that are planned either by the board or in conjunction with other organizations for staff and students, if there could be some consideration given to hosting an Indigenous leader in the Canadian energy sector to help students to understand what the options are, what the possibilities are in Canada, and especially that connection between the role of Canadian energy and global citizenship and human rights, as well as the importance of economic reconciliation, given the timing of our meeting as well. It's kind of top of mind. Thank you.
Through the chair to Trustee Baxter, so glad that you've asked that question. One of the things that we're incredibly proud of is our partnership with the Indigenous Learning Department. They've been very, very involved in our work. They've been part of our leadership center, leadership work that's gone across the entire school board. So one of the some of the events that you will see, some of the conferences involved our Indigenous learning team and our partners. We actually had them engaging and creating workshops. If you'll see some of the workshops that were in there, they were by Indigenous leaders right in the agendas of the workshops, and we've included them in the report. And so this has been our commitment, because as you can imagine, the level of engagement and the work itself and how the connections are made to our Indigenous community, they feel very connected to the work, and they want to be part of our work, and they want to partner with us. And so it was very important for us to ensure that we included them at the beginning, not an afterthought. They are part of every decision and every work that we move forward around learning for our students. So thank you very much for highlighting that.
Thank you. And our last question is from Trustee Gray.
Thank you very much, through the chair. Earlier tonight, Superintendent Eamon Flahat and I had a quick conversation about this important work, and I'm very thrilled with Superintendent Gaudette's commitment to work with the town of Halton Hills with regards to Vision Georgetown and move some things along in that realm of having great buildings go up that are environmentally helpful and sustainable. But what I take out of this report, and I tried to share this report out, I'm going to have to learn how to do that better because people haven't been able to open this report, and I want the community in my area to be reading it. What I take away from this report is mostly about the student leadership and the importance that has played in the way in which we move this along. And I wonder if you would have just a comment aside, just as an overview, and I would give this question to you, just an overview comment about how you've seen us develop student leadership in the past couple of years with regards to environment.
Absolutely, through the chair. On a personal note, I guess to start off with, I'm actually a student of Halton. So I grew up and I was the only student in my eco club. So it's a really big honor to be in this position and also to get to work with the students and lead these youth forums and these conferences and work with staff, students, community partners. And the ideas that these students come up with absolutely blow my mind and give me such hope for the future. A big thing I've seen just from the action projects that come from the youth forums, just the level of engagement. I know we were speaking to you today. We just got Georgetown District High School to sign up for eco schools. So first time in 10 years, which is a really big thing. And they said it was student led. So it was the students, and they have a lot of excitement around it right now. So I think there's a big buzz. Students are actually completing the Eco Schools application. So that's a big thing I've seen a change in, where we used to have this one eco champion teacher who is leading or inputting the work. And now the students are filling out the certificate questions, and they're really leading that instead. And it's their voice, their ideas, their projects that they want to do. And then we also have our Nature's Near program, which is a co-op program where we have high school co-op students travel around to different elementary schools leading outdoor ed programs. So just seeing the impact and how much that's grown, we're really excited to see that carry on. And I could probably go on for a very long time about just, I've seen this big shift away from this one environmental teacher kind of leading it to these huge groups, and this more of a culture that's built into school, which I think you can probably get as you read through the report. So it's nice to see that. I think people are seeing it not as an extra, but as a part of the curriculum, the SDGs, all our work, our multi-year strategic plan. So yeah, it's very exciting.
And Student Trustee Ho.
Thank you, through you, Chair. Thank you so much, firstly, for this very informative report. And it was really nice working with you last year on Senate and also the sustainability awards. I thought that was a really, really great addition. Kind of adding on to what Trustee Gray was just mentioning, I feel like a lot of times, especially within secondary schools, as you kind of mentioned, sometimes environmental leadership is very individualistic. Like if we don't have like a key administrator, teacher who wants to champion it, it's often very difficult to get like school-wide engagement, even though we're seeing like obviously a lot of students who are interested and are stepping up, especially within Senate as well. So I have two questions here. Firstly, I was wondering if we could like share this report with our student Senate in like upcoming meetings, and maybe also like do a partnership where you can kind of describe what they could do to kind of like maximize environmental sustainability at their own schools. And then second question, like specifically for secondary schools as a whole, like how could us as student trustees promote things like eco schools or getting students involved in like involved in leadership within environment? Does that make sense? Thank you.
Through the chair. Great question, and it's been lovely working with Student Senate as well. The Sustainability Awards was, I think, a great start to really get students motivated, and it's really exciting what they're starting off with. So yes, absolutely, you can share the report to answer your first question, and we'll have to figure out if we're having some issues with sharing. We'll update that on our end. And for the second question, of getting secondary students more involved, I'd be more than happy to come work with Student Senate and kind of discuss some possible ideas and leadership opportunities, because I know you have your environmental and global citizenship subcommittee. So in the past I've worked with them, so I think that's always a great in seeing what students are interested in. And then I think a big thing is leveraging our community partners. So for example, we have the Generation Green Youth Conference. So that's a great opportunity where the conference is fully student led and they get a lot of say in what workshops happen, our keynote speaker, and go into designing that. So there's some really great opportunities, and then opportunity to bring not only some funding, but also resources, knowledge back to their schools to really lead an initiative back there. So finding things like that, and I'm more than happy to kind of go dive in deeper with you guys and bring some of those opportunities to Student Senate and maybe spread the word that way. But hopefully that helps.
So thank you very, very much for your contributions to our board's sustainability and environmental conscientiousness, holding that commitment very high and lofty in our multi-year strategic plan. I appreciate all the work being done, and continue the good work. Fantastic. Thank you very much. Now we will move on to 6.2, the Director's Report.
Thank you, Chair Collard. Good evening once again, everyone. To begin the Director's Report, I would like to start with some good news that certainly we want to thank the Ministry of Education for over $11 million invested in the Halton District School Board. And I'm going to ask Superintendent Godet if you could speak about that.
Yes, thanks, Director Ennis. The Ministry announced on August 25th through a memo that, in fact, we would be receiving more than $6.5 million towards accessibility enhancements within our school system, which is awesome and I'll say long overdue as well, based on my experience trying to implement accessibility projects across the province, and in particular in Halton. And then additionally, the ministry also funded $4.5 million towards reinforced autoclaved aerated concrete, which is the type of concrete structure that I'll say was the demise of the Ontario Science Centre. So the ministry is active funding these projects that exist within the Halton District School Board. Their timelines for implementation were very aggressive. They would like the projects implemented this year and complete by August 31st of 2026. I will say on the accessibility front, that is not a problem. We're well into our accessibility work and have allocated the funds and could spend more than the 6.5 within these timelines, so that's great news. And then from the RAC perspective, they did approve one project which we as staff feel is not ideal for us, so we're working with them to identify alternate projects that might be viable.
Thank you so much. Next, I want to move on to the HDSB open house, which was held on Saturday, September 27th. And we had such an amazing time. I want to thank Superintendent Connor with her new portfolio of retention, attraction, and growth. And she has just dove right in. And Superintendent Connor, you want to fill us in on what happened on that Saturday?
Yeah, I certainly can. It was a fabulous day. It was really the opportunity to highlight the unbelievable programs that we have, not only programs, but students and staff in our secondary schools. It was intended to be an interactive and engaging day for our grade 6 to grade 10 students. We had thousands of students that came on their Saturdays to be part of this wonderful event, students that were both from inside and outside our school board. And yeah, just a wonderful showcase of excellence. And we are very, very proud of, again, of course, of all of our programs, and really relish the opportunity to provide that type of a showcase. The other piece I might highlight is that in the complement of students that came, we had about half of our students at the grade 8 level, about 25% at the grade 7 level, and about 25% at the grade 6 level. So what we do know is that families are keenly interested, as well as students, to have a deeper understanding around what our secondary schools look like. So it was a wonderful day.
Thank you so much, Superintendent Connor. And certainly we heard from parents not knowing all of the rich tapestry of programs that we offer here within the HDSB. And so we were so happy to showcase all of that. And I certainly met parents who said, you know, my child did not want to come on a Saturday morning. But one particular parent said to me, now he's saying to me that he's glad that he came. So we are so grateful for the parents who really pushed the kids to come out, and to the tune of thousands. That was an amazing showcase. The Halton Children's Water Festival, which took place last week, covered a wide range of topics, including water quality, conservation, human use of water, and aquatic ecosystems. This speaks to, of course, the great work that has been done on our commitment towards environmental and global citizenship. Calling all 3-year-olds kindergarten open houses. This is another exciting time that is coming up. We have all the dates in October and November in all of our 5 municipalities. And so we're encouraging all parents, all 3-year-olds. Perhaps we'll take 2.5, but we're asking everyone to bring all the students. We have room for them, we have space for them, and we have excellent programming for all of them. The PIC conference is coming up, and it's going to be November the 15th at Elsie McGill, of course, on the theme of Embrace, Engage, Celebrate, Building Welcoming Communities Together. This is always an exciting opportunity for families and communities to get together and parents to engage with each other and to look at how we can continue to build a welcoming community within the HDSB. So we invite all of us to come on out and be in support. Of course, our keynote this year is none other than our own Pradeep Singh Nagra. So we look forward to the exciting stories he's going to be telling us about his journey. Backed by popular demand, the second annual HDSB Entrepreneur Within Conference. Now, many didn't know that this conference existed, so we wanted to bring it to your attention that we have a lot of students who are keen on starting their own businesses and opening opportunities for their future through their own endeavors and ingenuity. So where they get to interact with a lot of industry professionals, entrepreneurs, and those who are on the journey, who have businesses in the community. Last year we had an amazing turnout from most of our high schools, and so we're looking forward to the second annual. And I believe trustees received earlier today an invitation. So if you can make it, please drop by. We'd love to see you there. Of course, upcoming information nights to support transition to high school. This is happening in October and November, and we're hosting several events, both online and in person, to support that. Know that we are reaching out to our families, as Tara said, not just transitioning from 8 to 9, but we're starting early from 6, 7, 8, straight through high school. The message to all parents and families is that we are a board here to support that provides great programming and excellence from kindergarten right through grade 12. And I know if Superintendent McIntosh was here, she would say and into adulthood. So we also provide that as well. We want to recognize 2 of our HDSB teachers for their excellence certificate of achievement from the 2025 Prime Minister's Award for Teaching Excellence. Vittorio Iafrati from T.A. Blakelock. Congratulations, Vittorio, who is a grade 9 to 12 general science, biology, and chemistry teacher. Thank you so much for everything that you do to support our students each and every day. And Phi Tran from Eastview Public School, grades 2 to 8 English second language. Phi is a dedicated educator and who's a strong advocate for multi-language learners. So congratulations to 2 of our teachers, outstanding teachers, who are just a snippet and a sample of the excellence that exists right across the HDSB in all of our schools. That concludes my director's report for tonight.
Thank you very much, Director Ennis. I'm not seeing any speakers on the list, so I'm going to move on to the next item, which is communications from the chair. And since our last board meeting, trustees have continued to be fully engaged in our communities. We've been visiting our schools, speaking with parents, and participating on various board and external committees. On September 22nd, several trustees and senior staff members participated in a consultation with the parliamentary assistant to the Minister of Education and 3 of our local MPPs to discuss the school resource officer portion of Bill 33. These consultations, involving locally elected trustees, members of provincial parliament, and board staff, demonstrate the value of having a variety of perspectives engaged in discussions about the potential impacts of provincial legislation at the local level. I was extremely proud of the contributions made by every person involved in the consultation, and I want to thank the Ministry of Education for including the HDSB in this important work. We look forward to future opportunities to work with the province on the important initiatives to enhance publicly funded education. Also attached under communications from the chair, you'll see the letter that we all cooperatively got together and wrote to the Minister of Education and the Premier regarding our wish to be fully consulted on any changes that may come to the role of trustee. Are there any questions regarding my report this evening? And I'm not seeing any, so we will move on to committee updates. Are there any reports for our statutory or staff-led committees this evening? Thank you very much. We will now move on to the OPSPA update and trustees Gray and Daniele.
Okay. As you may know, that we had a Board of Executive and Board of Directors meeting a few weeks ago. Some of the things that have come out of that I can speak to in public session would be that there is a new group insurance option available for trustees. It is a partnership with the Retired Teachers of Ontario, and it's through the Entente Plus Group Insurance Program. Gives us the ability to apply for comprehensive health, dental, and travel insurance. So OPSPA has sent out information about that. There was a great deal done around Truth and Reconciliation because it happened to coincide with the meeting. And the reports from the what was the Indigenous Trustees Council has now been renamed the First Nation, Inuit, and Métis Trustees Council. As well, one of the pieces I would like to highlight for my fellow trustees is November 1st. That is our next Central West Regional meeting. It is a vitally important one, and I will speak in private session as to some of the reasons why. It will be held on Peel. They will be hosting. I am looking to nail down the exact location as quickly as I can, but it will be this Saturday morning, 9 to 12 in Peel. And I'd also like to hear from trustees, afterwards, if there are barriers to attending Saturday morning meetings and there's a better way to go forward, I would love to hear suggestions on that, because we have seen attendance at our regional meetings dwindling, and I would like to, with some of the changes that are coming, we will need to make those more robust. So I will welcome any feedback to that. If anybody has any question on those meetings, just let me know afterwards.
No, thank you, Trustee Daniele. And I sent out a small summary, and then since then a larger summary has come out about the meeting. So I think everyone's got the information. But thank you for that. Reminding everyone about that very important Central West meeting coming up. We're hoping for everyone to be able to attend that on November the 1st. Location to be determined. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Trustees Daniele and Gray. Now we move on to trustee questions of clarification. Do we have any for this evening's agenda? Not seeing any. I move on to trustee news. Do we have any news to spread? I know we've all been busy visiting our schools in the last month, but yeah, special events, anniversaries, that kind of thing, this would be the place to note those. And so please remember those in the future meetings. Okay, now we will head into private session. Trustee Horn, would you move a motion to go into committee of the whole private session?
I will.
This meeting is not open to the public pursuant to the Education Act 2072. Trustee Ahmed, would you second this motion?
Yes, I will, please.
Are there any objections to moving into private session? Seeing none, the motion is passed by unanimous consent, and we are now in private session. Vice Chair Oliver, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much. Let's take a 5-minute break, please.
Welcome back to public session of the board meeting for October the 8th, 2025. Vice Chair Oliver, do we have any business from private session that requires approval?
We do. And I'll state the motion, put the motion on the floor. Be it resolved that the Halton District School Board approve the resolution from the Halton District School Board Committee of the Whole private session, October 8, 2025, respecting personnel and security, Report 25102, private session agenda item 4.1, and I so move.
Trustee Daniele, as chair of the audit committee, would you second this motion?
Thank you. Yes, I would.
Thank you. Is there any debate? I didn't think so. Please cast your votes. Okay. Okay, I'm seeing hands in the air. Looks like it's unanimous to me. Adjournment, and as our agenda is exhausted, I call this meeting